I grew up, I started to understand great grandmother. She was so right about the importance of education. It allows you to escape the farming life and poverty. I can't say that I've never loved a boy. I dated some, but studying was more interesting for me at that time. Until I met Daniel.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm watching Pond Skaters. Skating.
Can I watch?
Sure.
Daniel started asking me questions about my studies and
Really interesting. When you're done with your Bond Skaters, will you go out and take coffee with me?
Okay.
we started to go out together. I really admired Daniel, and as the time passed, I started to feel something new, something different. I started to feel love for Daniel. I don't like teaching. Giving conference, I don't mind, but teaching is really hard for
The
me.
hydrophobic nature of the hair ties. Matt, look at this beetle! It's going directly in the water! Oh no, I think it's going to drown!
Just watch, Kate. It's like she has her own submarine. She created air bubbles and now she can go underwater. Isn't it amazing?
This is why Matt was so great. He was able to see what was miraculous. He made a little thing look wonderful. I knew I was boring. They would have loved to hear someone like Matt speak instead of me. I knew that if things had turned out differently for my family, it would be Matt standing in front of the class, not me.
Okay, I'm sorry. The class is over. I'm leaving.
I was thinking about Matt. I felt like I was betraying him. I did not really understand why. Maybe because it was how Matt betrayed himself.
Daniel, I don't think I can do this job anymore. I don't feel at my place.
Kate, you are wonderful. Everyone can have a bad day. You cannot be at your best every day.
No. My students are all bored. This job is certainly not for me. I don't think I can do it anymore.
You know, Kate, you should ask yourself why Professor Kylie is so nice to you. Just think about that.
In the winter, there was no job at the Paris farm, so our family had no contact with them. Laurie hadn't been to school since the fight. It wasn't until March that my brothers resumed their work at the farm.
Everyone admires what both of you have done for the girls. We must know that it has been hard, and there's no shame in admitting that sometimes things just didn't work out well. I have to tell you that it's important to know when something don't work, otherwise things can get really wrong. If something ever happens again, I'll have to prevent your Aunt Annie. I know you want to be self-sufficient, but pride can sometimes be a really big weakness.
After his speech, Dr. Christopherson offered some help. I knew he was putting them to the test by offering his money. Of course, they failed by refusing the offer. Dear Aunt Annie, Mr. Tadworth offered a job to Luke. 2 afternoons a week. Mrs. Stanovich is taking care of me and Boo. Luke says we don't need her, and Matt says the opposite. I hope you're well. Love, Kate. One Sunday, the pies were not at the church. Matt seemed worried, and while he was cleaning the dishes, I listened to the story.
You are so pathetic. As useless as a girl, you can't do your job right. Have you never learned a thing about farming in all those years? Of course not. You never listen, you never try. You as dumb as a bullock.
I think I got all that stupidness and that dumbness from you.
What? Did I just hear that?
Yes, unless you've gone deaf. Don't you ever try to hit me again. I just hope you die.
At that time, I did not realize that our meeting at Urbon were in fact almost over. It was the last spring I had with Matt.
You know, Kate, the main purpose of all creatures is to reproduce themselves.
When I picture that moment of my life, I always see Matt in the background with all his books.
When are your results coming up?
Anytime. You know, Luke, you could still go to teacher's college. I bet they still take you.
Listen, I'm not going. I'm staying with the girls, and I don't want to talk about this ever. Ever. Congratulations, Matt. It's a wonderful achievement. When are you leaving?
In September.
For how long? For how long are you leaving?
A few years.
You don't like it here?
No, Kate, it's too late. But I'll come back as much as I can.
Every weekend?
No, it's too far, Kate.
How far?
About 400 miles. Come with me. Do you know who she is? It's great-grandmother. Education was very important for her. She lived all her life on a farm and all she wanted to learn. All she wanted was to learn. The world was so fascinating to her, but you must know it's really hard to learn when you have no time and no one to teach you. She promised she would do anything to give her children a chance to be educated. You understand what I have to go? I want to tell you one last thing. When I finish university, it will be your turn to go. I'll find a good job and earn money to send you to university. After that, we will both take care of Blake and Bo and pay for them to go to school. What do you think? Is it an awesome plan?
An awesome plan? Of course I was glad to be a part of it, but I was more afraid of losing Matt. I even thought I would die losing my brother.